Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we are looking at the evil plan that Sam Altman has in place for humanity. This is a guy that, if you think about it, it is a multi-billionaire, one of the most wealthiest and influential people in the world, right? And what is he doing with that influence, with that power? He is leading humanity down a dark and dangerous path. Um, he does not have the best interests in the world for the people that are living within it. Okay, he knows that this technology is going to ruin many lives. However, he just plays ignorance. Okay, he just goes like, oh well, like it's going to happen whether I take part of it or not, right? Instead of trying to guardrail, instead of trying to make sure that this technology has some type of tangible benefit to the everyday normal person in the world. Okay, the world is going through crisis, the world is going down a dark and dangerous path. Many people are lonely, many people are isolated, many people you know we're all living day to day, right? And when you turn on the news, you kind of see the problems that are in the world. You can see the kind of troubles that are ahead, right? There's a war in Iran going on right now. Okay, it is causing a massive spike in the price of goods, the price of oil around the world. Many people are going to suffer because when you have an increase in the price of oil, it's going to cause a increase in the price of cost of things. There's already a cost of living crisis going on. Okay, so this is further going to increase the pressures onto those people. And when you have this technology coming up, which is just kind of bubbling under the surface, ready to displace many people who are within jobs, many people who are in society trying to make a living. It is going to cause massive disruption, massive upheaval around the world. Many people will be displaced in the job market, right? That is a fact because I mean, think about it. Like people, like my parents, for example. They aren't ready. My father's retired, but my mother isn't retirement age right now. Um, you know, she is so people her age with this new technology coming in and those jobs disappearing, that manual jobs that she would do, right? What is she supposed to do? Okay, I get constant questions asking me to fucking help them do their online shit. Okay, pay for things online, which I'm happy to do, right? But at the end of the day, the reason that they can't do it themselves is because they don't have that type of training. They don't know how to really use the internet, the computers to its full capacity, and then they kind of scared by it, and they ask me to help them because they are illiterate in that sense, okay, via the internet, that they don't know how to go about utilizing that technology to benefit them, right? And as this technology is getting more and more advanced, right, even normal people are getting left behind, okay, because this technology is increasing at a rapid pace. Many people will get left behind. Many people are already isolated via this technology. There's already social isolation going on all across the world, and this effect will be running through society more and more. That is why I'm here. That is why I am launching this channel. This is why I am here speaking to you. I'm looking for 100 people, okay? This channel isn't about me getting millions of views, thousands of views, right? Um, because I really just don't care about it, right? Like I don't care about the actual metrics, the actual numbers, who I'm pulling in. I'm looking for like-minded people, right? I want people to watch this and listen to me speak and understand what it is that I'm doing, what I'm trying to accomplish here, right? By raising 100 kings, 100 kingdoms that I'm trying to build, okay? Because I want you to be a part of it, right? But I don't know who you are, right? So you're the one who has to let me know, right? If you want to be a part of this, okay? Because the future of the world, right? Many people are too fucking, um, you know, they just have too many self-doubts that are holding them back. They have too many fears that are holding them back, right? There are too many people who are isolated and don't have a clue how to navigate the future of the world, right? That is why I want to come in and offer a solution, right? My solution is to bring together 100 people, 100 kings, build 100 kingdoms, okay? And the type of people that I want is to find 100 subject matter experts, okay? Because together with 100 people at our base, coming forth, standing shoulder to shoulder, we will be right by each other's side, helping in ushering this new phase of humanity, a new phase for the global population, because that is what good people need. They need leaders. And that is what I'm here to do. Okay. I'm an ENTJ, right? I am somebody who has the personality traits of a commander, right? And that is my life purpose. I'm here to try to wake you up, to try to make you think differently about your current circumstances, right? There has to be somebody who takes responsibility, right? And it has to be either you, right, or the next person, right? But can you guarantee that the next person is better qualified than you, right? Okay. Can you guarantee that the next person has good intentions for people, right? Only you can determine whether you have good intentions for people or not, right? And right, I like to think that the people that I work with, the people that come to me, they have good intentions, right? They are people who are good people, but they just have this self-doubt. Something in their life happened, and they were discouraged by the things that happen in their life. Okay. And I'm here to tell you, I'm here to remove the self-doubt for you. Okay. I'm here to clear your head, to help you launch your personality onto the world so that you can become somebody who is seen as a subject matter expert, somebody who is seen as an expert. And once you're seen as an expert, it is only natural that you have this authority. You are seen as a point of authority, and people will follow you. And that is how you will crown yourself a king. And once you crown yourself a king, it is only natural that you establish a kingdom, and people will follow you till the ends of the world. Okay, because they're looking for a leader. Right. If you ever thought that you were supposed to do something fucking great in this life, right? If you ever thought that you were meant for glory and greatness, this is your moment. Okay, because you have to take, right, you have to go and grab life by its fucking throat. Okay, you have to grab life by its balls and bend it to your will. Okay, and this is what I'm here to do. Right, you might be from humble beginnings. Okay, you might be somebody who has no um you know uh access to high net individuals. You might not have access to any actual power right now, but I can teach you how to rise to power, how to become a hero. That is what we're doing on this channel. We are establishing heroes. I'm sending out a bat signal. Okay, I'm looking for the right type of people, the people who understand what it is I'm doing, who want to be a part of it, who want to raise armies and change the trajectory of the world. Okay. Why are we focusing on Sam Altman today, right? He is somebody who is leveraging this technology. Okay, he is somebody who is going to disrupt the working class. He's somebody who's going to disrupt many, many industries and jobs. And once those jobs are disrupted, those people will be reliant on governments. Okay. And that is the big plan that these people have for you. They want you reliant on governments. They want to take control and of your mind. They want to take control of your lives. They want to feed you brain rot content straight into your brain. They want you weak and easy to manipulate. Right. And once you understand that, you see what the world is right now. Okay. It is a battle for power, right? That is why I'm leaving this system. This is why I'm, you know, like I don't come here online, just to become somebody who is, oh, I've got this YouTube channel. Oh yeah, look at me, great. No, I'm trying to find like-minded people to connect with, so that we can come up with and new ideas to help the people in the world, because many people will suffer. We are on the brink of fucking civil unrest. We're on the brink of many things going to shit. Okay. That is why we need to band together and help the people to lead them to a new world, a better world. Okay. That is why we are establishing kingdoms. Why do I say, oh, we're going to crown ourselves kings? Okay. Because the world is about to fucking disrupt. right? And when disruption happens, it is a opportunity for the people who have balls, the people who want to bring about change, to bring about this new world that I'm talking about. Okay. And because me and you, because we have the foresight, because we have the fucking balls to do it, because we have that first move advantage, why shouldn't we be fucking crown kings? Okay. Because we are taking all the risk. Okay. That is what we are about. That is what we are doing on this channel. We are raising 100 kings. I am bringing together the amicis. Okay. Amicis, it means friends in Italian. I'm bringing together 100 kings, 100 friends, people who can stand shoulder to shoulder, side by side with you, to help you usher in a new phase for humanity. Okay. I am trying to help you to establish the Royal Alliance of Kings so that we can stand shoulder to shoulder, side by side, to usher in this new phase for humanity, to save humanity, to bring about freedom and autonomy for the people, because life is about to go to shit. Okay. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, fuck off. I don't give a shit, right? I've got less than, I've got about 125 subscribers, I think, right? I don't care if it grows or not, right? Because I'm looking for the 1%. I'm looking for one person at a time who understands, who wants to be a part of what I'm doing, who wants to join me, because I'm looking for a real connection, right? I'm leveraging the internet, the power of the internet, in this new universe, right? Which is the internet. This is how we connect now, right? Many people are isolated, many people are lonely, many people are left in their bedroom right now. Okay, they don't have any friends. Okay, is that a healthy world to live in? No, it's not, right? That is why I'm offering this solution. I'm trying something new, right? I am here on the fucking ground, right? Literally trying something to save humanity, right? This is like, if this was a fucking film, this is like the origin story that you can be a part of, right? But many people, they're just too weak, they just have too many self-doubts in their fucking head. They just have too much weakness within themselves. Okay. And I don't say weakness in a way to shame you. I'm just saying the weakness is put into your fucking head by society, right? But when society isn't built to benefit you, right, why should you listen to it? This is why we need to take back control, to take back autonomy, to be free. I'm somebody, right? Like, I went to university. I was a good little boy, right? I was a good little boy. I went to university. I studied fucking hard. I listened to my parents' advice. I was like, yeah, like, no, if I get a good education, I can get a good job. I got my good education, right? I studied fucking economics, right? I went to, I worked at some of the best companies in the world. Okay. If I was to name them off to you, you'd be like, oh, wow, that's such a great company, right? I worked at RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland, Barclays, Deloitte, Lloyd's Bank, okay, JP Morgan, right? I worked at these massive institutions, right? And especially when I was at JP Morgan, I worked at a private bank. Okay. I was dealing with clients who had net worths, way beyond, 10 million plus. Okay. And I was working there. I was giving my fucking soul to this corporation. And when I got there, I was like what is the point? Why are we doing this? I'm not helping advance society here. I'm not helping advance anybody, right? I'm just helping rich people make more fucking money. And I was just like, this is not for me. I knew being in that job, I was going to be stuck. I was going to be a slave for the rest of my life. So I left. I left that job. Okay. I actually went into a different industry. I went into construction, and even in construction, it was still not going to work, because you're always going to be part of somebody else's system, right? Whether it's their tax system, their government system, right? I was always going to be a secondary character. That is why I was for like, how the fuck do I get out of this, right? So that I can live the life that the elites are living, right? Um, and that is why I came to a conclusion is you have to establish your own kingdom. You have to become autonomous. You have to become a king. Because if you as a good person have good intentions towards people, you're going to raise them up to have a good life as well. That is what we are doing on this channel. We are building nations. We are buying private islands. Okay. We are going to rule the world. And I don't say that, oh yeah, like ha ha ha, we're going to fucking rule the world. I actually mean it. right? I'm building a network, right? And you might not be even be a smart person. You might be fucking you like you might have an IQ less of 100 IQ, right? You might not be a genius, right? But I will teach you, I will show you how to raise an army, right? And who the fuck runs the world? The person with the strongest army. Okay. And we will have the biggest support because people are fucking fed up. People are waiting to join you, right? They're waiting for a leader to rule over them, right? That is what I'm doing. That is what we are doing. We are raising 100 kingdoms so that we can have, imagine 100 kings. Okay, 100 kingdoms, right? And each of those kingdoms, right, has about 10,000 people under it. Okay, like we will literally have such a huge chunk of the population under us, right? That people would have to, the elites, the people in charge right now, governments would have to listen to us and bargain with us. We are raising power. We will overthrow the evil elites who have evil intentions for humanity. We will usher a better way of living. That is what we are doing. That is what we are saying. Okay. That is how we will rule the world. That is how we will stay winning. Okay. Let's jump into comments. Mogmax United, good friend of the show. He is one of us. He is a king in the making. He is leading the line to bring about the new way to save all the fucking looks maxers because they are fucking lost, because they are being feminized. Mogmaxer United is a person who is strong. He is a person who is actually advocating for masculinity, real masculinity. He is showing people how to fucking live and be strong. That is why he is a king. That is why he will succeed. Okay. Let's read the comment. Isolation is not healthy. I agree. It's been this way almost for 12 years. I am 21 years old with few friends and no girls. I'm thankful for this channel that helps make changes in people. Yeah, man. I appreciate the comment. I really appreciate you as well. You're 21 years old, right? Like this is the best time, like already I know you're a healthy person. I know you are a very strong person. You're building muscles, you're building strength, real strength, not this fake bodybuilder strength. You're actually building real strength that you can real fuck up someone. Like I've seen, if you've seen some of this guy's videos, like that if he I know if he was to put his fucking hands on someone, like they're in serious trouble, right? Yeah, like loneliness is not good. That is why I'm not here to just be a leader, right? I'm here to find friends, people I can actually trust, people I can build relationships with. And you've been a very great ally to me. Me and you are we're working in the background. I'm helping you and build your channel right now. You're doing great work, and because you're 21 years old, right, this is the prime age to do it. You have all the energy of the world, right? And you might think like that you don't have the right wisdom right now. I'm telling you, right, you are more further ahead than most people, right? Because me and you've discussed things. I know your type of mindset that you have, and this loneliness that you felt, okay, use it as motivation, use it to build yourself up, use it to bring about change, because we need leaders like you to guide the usher in this new age that we're trying to build here on this channel. Because people like fucking Clavicular and his fucking cronies, his friends, the Mansfield people like Sneeko and Tate, they are really using these people to usher in an age of degeneracy. Okay, they're not helping people, right? They are letting the masses down. I always preach about projecting yourself as a king. I know once you build your channel up, you build your kingdom. Once you are a king, Mogmaxer, the king of Mogmaxers, women will line up to date you. That is how we stay winning. That is how we will be grateful. Grateful to build these alliances with one another. I don't want you to just be a follower of this channel. I want you to be a friend of the channel. That is what I'm aiming for. That is how we stay winning. Okay. Let's jump into the other comment. Even though you are successful, you don't have to do this. Yeah, I mean, look, man, like it's not about being successful, because even if you are somebody who is successful in life right now, you have to realize that the metrics of success are changing. Okay, because now even if you are a millionaire in the background, right? Because we're all moving to this new world, moving online, you have to have some sort of presence online. Okay. That is why people like Elon Musk are building these massive followings online. That is why they are seen all the time being relevant in media online, because you need a following, you need to build a kingdom, you need people to back you, right? So it's not about being successful and unsuccessful, it's about cultivating a following, being a leader. The real value lies in being a leader, which is what I'm trying to accomplish. By having 100 kings means that there's 100 leaders, right? Of people to bring together more people so that we can lead them down this new path, right? And I'm a firm believer of getting the right type of people, the core group together, which is why I'm only focusing on 100 people. I don't care about thousands and thousands of followers. I don't care about having 1 million followers, because if I can get 100 kings to come together, me, you, and the other kings that we got together here on this channel so far, once we get to 100, we'll have this core group with all working towards the same fucking goal, right? And the followers of your kingdom, of my kingdom, of the other kingdoms that we are establishing, right, will be stronger than any fucking army all across the globe, right? It is only a matter of time, right? That I- I'm I'm thinking there's, with Agenda 2030 coming in, we've got about 4 years left. Right, we've got 4 years left to do this. In the next 4 years, there'll be massive upheaval. Me, in 4 years' time, think about it. Your channel just started. How many viewers will you have in your channel in the next 4 years? How many people will you have be part of your kingdom? Okay, because you are giving real advice to your followers. They will worship you. They will follow you to the ends of the world. Okay, and because you're a good person, I know that they are in safe hands to lead them to a good phase of the next phase of humanity, right? That is what we're doing. That is how we stay winning. Let's jump into this video. Let's jump straight in and see what this Sam Altman freak is all about.
This video is sponsored by War Thunder. Sam Altman is Silicon Valley's golden child, the next model of tech CEO, humble and unassuming, but with a big vision for the future. His carefully managed public
Think about it. How did he even become a golden child, right? He was elected. He was somebody who was brought forward by Peter Thiel. He was self-selected to push Peter Thiel's agenda. Okay, Peter Thiel, I've already done a couple of videos on my channel about this guy. Yeah, he does not have the best intentions for the world. He openly talks about the Antichrist, right? And really, he's fucking describing himself, right? He wants to culminate a surveillance state. He wants to watch over humanity. He wants to lead it down a path where he is in full control. Who the fuck elected him? Who elected him, right? Was it me? Was it you? I don't think so, right? The normal people, right? Life is happening outside our sphere, which has massive repercussions over me and you, right? But nobody is able to actually do anything to further help us, right? Is Peter Thiel helping towards loneliness? Is Sam Altman helping the loneliness crisis, right? The dating crisis that is going on in the world? No, he's not. He is a fucking prick. He is somebody who is using and leveraging his fucking power, right, in order to make more money so that he can stay in control, so that he can lead the rest of the world down a path where they self-implode. Okay. And when the fucking implosion happens, he wants to be there to collect the rest of the wealth, to be the hero for the world, to remain in power. It is a massive power grab. Okay, you need to open your eyes. You need to see what the fuck these people are doing.
public image has been designed to take the best bits from other CEOs, all while ironing out all of the wrinkles. He's Steve Jobs, but without the toxicity. He's Elon Musk, but without the controversy. He's Zuckerberg, but slightly less robotic. And only slightly. Sam tries to put forward a humble image online, leaving lowercase Twitter comments about how he wouldn't spend lots of money on a car. But he's also been spotted driving cars worth far more than the Porsche he was talking about.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, these people will tell you, like, that they're very altruistic, that they care about, the average person, but they then spend the money on fucking luxury, okay? Because they are trying to signal to other wealthy people, hey, I might be saying all this bullshit to the poor people, but I'm really part of your crew, okay? They are trying to, and look, when me and you once we are kings, once we establish our kingdoms, you know, once we have that type of fucking money, once we are billionaires, I encourage you to fucking spend your money on fucking Rolls Royces. I encourage you to spend your money on fucking mansions, okay? Because that is what we deserve. Because we are the ones who are taking all the risk. We are the ones who are fucking putting ourselves out there. So why shouldn't we live the best life possible? But these people, you know, like, I'm not here to lie to you. I'm telling you the fucking truth, right? Like, once I'm a billionaire, you're gonna see me fucking ball out of control. All right. It is only a short matter of time. In the next couple of years, I'm going to be a billionaire, right? I'm going to be fucking buying the best cars in the world, right? I'm going to be fucking driving, you know, flying the biggest jets all across the globe. Okay. You're going to see expenditure from me that the world has never seen before. Okay. Because I am a king, because I'm not just a fucking celebrity. I am beyond all of that. Right. But this person, you know, he's telling you that to your face that, oh, he's such a fucking good person. You know, I'm trying to help the world. But in essence, he's really just trying to be a fucking rich kid who is trying to impress other people with his luxury cars.
Like most tech CEOs, Altman loves to go on podcasts, but he just can't resist his urge to dodge any uncomfortable questions.
I mean, well, when you're watching this video that I'm playing, right? Like, just look at fucking Sam Altman's face, right? He is like, you can just see there is no. He might be a high IQ person. I don't know. I think it's probably fake, right? He's probably just got average IQ. But let's say he is a high IQ person, a genius IQ person, right? It's probably you know, there is a depression in his fucking face. There's no real life, right? Think about if you had the amount of money that this guy has, the amount of influence that this guy has, okay? And the best he can do is, you know, just be like, yeah, oh yeah, AI is going to come in and he's going to, you know, like really ruin a lot of people's lives and jobs, but it's going to happen anyway, so we might as well just let it happen. Like, there is no life and passion in his fucking voice, okay? This is why this is a weak leader.
Just listen to him dodge this very simple, direct question on Theo Von's podcast.
A lot of these guys have bunkers. Zucky has a bunkie. I know that, somewhere out in Hawaii. Do you have a bunker?
I have like underground concrete heavy reinforced basements, but I don't have anything I would call a bunker.
Hold on, dude. Look, I'll let you keep me on the ropes in a lot of this conversation, but I am gonna call that out as a dang bunker.
So do you get what I mean? Like he already got called out by fucking Theo Von. This, like, you know, do you have a bunker? And then he describes a bunker without saying it's a bunker. And then Theo Von's like, just because at least with Theo Von, you can see a real human. You can see a person that you can fucking trust, right? He calls them out. He's like, bro, what you described is a bunker, so you have a fucking bunker, okay? Like, why do these people need to lie? Why do these people need to fucking try to, you know, think that they're always trying to get one over the average listener to these podcasts? It is fucking out of control.
Dude.
I know. Yeah, I have been thinking I should really do a good version of one of those, but I don't have what I would call a bunker, but it has been on my mind.
He's just the same as the rest of them, and the fact that he would try and bend the truth over something that confirms that makes it all the more obvious. And it's just
and they will lie to your face, right? These people who are in charge, who we trust, because, like, if you think about it, why do you trust them, right? Because you think that because those people are wealthy, because they've had a better education, right? Because they are in privileged positions, that they are better than you. Okay, it's not the case. It's not the case. Like, those people they got lucky where they are. They have access to resources that you don't have. I agree. Okay, but they are not better than you. Okay, they are as dumb, right? Dumber than you are. Right, they are just making the most of people's perception, because he is being backed by Peter Thiel, because, you know, his company is being backed by other multi-billion-dollar companies, okay, equity funds, that it kind of gets propped up. It's a billion-dollar company, it must be fucking great. It's not. It's not. It is a perception, and people buy into this perception. And because they buy into other people's perception, they weaken their perception of themselves. I'm here to tell you, you need to remove that self-doubt. You need to unleash the power that is within you. You need to be in your zone of genius. That is how you'll be somebody who is a king. That is how you become a subject matter expert. That is how we become points of authority for the people.
Tip of the iceberg, and unfortunately there's mounting evidence that Altman is far worse than the average tech billionaire. This person of the year has left a long trail of lawsuits, allegations, powerful enemies, and possibly even murders. What's even worse is that so much of the future could depend on this man. The world economy is all in on AI, with trillions of dollars riding on Sam Altman's personal promises for the future. And if they turn out to be just another set of lies, the consequences could be cataclysmic. That's why the future of the world could very well hinge on the reasons why I hate Sam Altman. To many, it did just seem like he came out of nowhere. As ChatGPT skyrocketed to popularity overnight, so did his profile to a wider audience. But people more connected to Silicon Valley have known Sam Altman for years. Far from being an outsider, he was a central figure at the very heart of the tech world. He worked on the inside, brushing shoulders with billionaires like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. But even before that, Sam Altman was just a kid. He was the first child of four to a politically connected real estate developer.
So already you can see this fucking lineage that he has, that he is a part of this nepotism, that his father, there were already multimillionaires who positioned him to be in the right places, to go to the right schools, so that he could have the right type of credibility for him to be elected to be in this position. Okay, so you always have to remember, you do your background. You know, do your research on the background of these people, right? The people, anyone who you look up to, okay, right, outside of sports, because from sports it usually is the more poverty-stricken people who succeed. But outside of that, the people who are in politics, in these, you know, big companies, these CEOs, they're all already, their parents are fucking wealthy. And because their parents are wealthy, they are the ones who are the, you know, they're promoting, and they have the right networks to put their sons and daughters in the right positions. That is how they stay in power. That is how they stay in these wealthy positions. That is why they are seen as oracles, why are seen as these, you know, tech geniuses. It's all curated, it is all you know, constructed to look like, you know, they magically appeared when there is a wealthy family behind them, when they are part of this nepotism that is being elected into your face.
A father and a dermatologist mother. In other words, Sam was born into high society, and Sam was a bright kid and clearly a prodigy when it came to technology. His semi-official biography, The Optimist, writes that at just 2 years old, he was using his dad's VCR player to watch Sesame Street. It also doesn't shy away from how differently wired he was. When he was still just 2, Sam's mother took him to the playground, but instead of running to play on the swings or to hang off the monkey bars, Sam just sat down on a bench. Quote, "No mummy, I'm going to sit with you here, and let's just watch the babies play." At the age of 8, Sam was then given his first computer. He almost immediately learned.
So, you know, like, if you think about it, like, you got to live a real fucking childhood. This guy saw himself above everybody else. He, you know, was autistic. He is somebody who saw himself better than everyone, and he was like, "Oh, let's just watch the other fucking babies." Okay, you know, these people aren't normal. They don't know how to relate to everyday people. Okay, they might pretend, right, but they don't have the same, you know, good feelings towards humanity. They don't have the same good feelings towards people, because they feel far removed from them. Okay, and you know, whether it's a good thing or bad thing, it's you know, they don't have no sympathy for you. Always remember that. Okay, these are the people who are leading you to this new world to live in.
How to program on it. In The Optimist, Sam uses this as an opportunity to lay the seeds for his vision for AI. As the author writes, quote, "I just remember thinking that someday the computer was going to learn to think." They then go on to explain how Sam needed to get away from the participation trophies and into an environment that more suited his genius. At around the age of 13, Sam transferred to a prestigious private school where he made his first real connections with upper society, which mixed inclusivity with massive pressure for students to get good grades. He wasn't just a stereotypical nerd though. Friends and family do describe a young Sam Altman as confident and able to convince people of almost anything. His passion for whatever he was working towards was infectious. His father had used this family trait to work on building affordable housing. Sam Altman's plans were entirely different.
So even his father pretends to make affordable housing. Why is he doing it? To fucking line his own profits. Okay, so I don't care about look, make your fucking money in the world, right? But at least be fucking honest about it, okay? Like, don't call it affordable housing when you're just
For
trying to
college, he
fucking.
enrolled at Stanford to major in computer science, although he didn't last very long. The connections, again, were far more important for Sam than the lectures or the courses he took. At this point in the 2000s, Stanford had cemented its reputation as the feeder school for Silicon Valley. Tiny startups and tech giants alike prowled its corridors, looking for any young prodigy programmers and the next generation of entrepreneurs. Altman's general intelligence and his tech knowledge combined with his uncanny ability to persuade people of his vision were a magic combo. Within only 2 years at the school, he got caught up in the Silicon Valley fever, leaving to begin his own startup. Admittedly though, it wasn't anything special. Looped, as it was called, was a social network designed to focus on real-life location tracking and a kind of check-in feature. In 2008, a 23-year-old Sam Altman gave this presentation on the app. Obviously, we know a lot more about what social media needs to work now than we did back in 2008. It does have some good elements that look like things Snapchat would add years later, but even then, it was clear that there were lots of problems. For this app to have ever worked, it would have needed constant surveillance and tracking. At the same time, people would also need to engage with the app almost constantly. They would always have to be updating their status to make it work properly. Altman didn't really need to convince the general public about Looped yet though. Instead, his role as CEO was to sell the app to the expansive world of Silicon Valley venture capitalism. This was, funnily enough, something he found very easy, and you can kind of see why. Take a listen to young Sam telling an interviewer why Looped will take off based on his vision for the future.
I think that we've crossed over this point where now the value perceived of sharing my location outweighs the privacy concerns of.
So this guy, he taps into and realizes that people are willingly, easily convinced to give up their fucking, data, their location, where they are in the world, right? And then he just treats you just like fucking data. He doesn't actually care about you. He doesn't actually give a fuck about your privacy, right? He's like, okay, people willing to give this up. This is how we can make fucking money from it. Okay, he's always looking to make money, to always profit from your fucking decisions
of doing so. And so I think now that that's happened, people understand how great it is to share their location and all the benefits of that. And so I think it's just going to continue to explode. And then in another few years, it'll be the norm to share your location, and it'll be weird when you don't.
He has this uncanny ability to make his vision for the future seem completely believable. Looped will succeed because people will soon stop caring about privacy and want to share their location all the time. It'll happen because of how obviously valuable Looped is. Today, we know none of that really happened in the way he imagined it, but investors at the time completely bought in. Straight out of the gate, Looped received $5 million from various Silicon Valley investors. But as the years went on, the app never really got off the ground. Altman boasted about a large and healthy user base in interviews, but who actually remembers this app at all? It didn't stop him from convincing investors to put in more money though. Over its 7-year lifespan, the app was periodically injected with outside funds, keeping it alive. On paper though, it was a failure. Despite all of his vision and his confidence, Looped became a footnote in tech history. But as we can speculate now, that might have never been the purpose of Looped for Sam Altman. He probably believed in the app with all of his heart at one point. But as time went on, Sam became increasingly involved in the inner workings of Silicon Valley's investment engine. His status as a fast-rising startup entrepreneur was all he needed to make connections with powerful people like Peter Thiel and Reid Hoffman. Eventually, his friends at Sequoia Capital would step in and take Looped.
So even with the companies that they start off with, even with the companies that they are trying to, really make their name with, that they think, oh yeah, I'm going to help society, with this company, I'm going to help fucking the world with my ideas. They're not doing it for that. They're trying to get the attention of these wealthy individuals. They're trying to, get their foot into, these group of people who have influence. Okay, people like Peter Thiel, people like Elon Musk. They're trying to get on their radar, right? So don't ever fucking believe what they are saying. Don't ever believe the things that are coming out their mouth.
Off of his hands, allowing Sam to net a few $1 million in the process, despite having pretty much nothing concrete to show for years and years of work. But Looped had given Sam a foothold in Silicon Valley. But before we continue, I want to tell you about War Thunder, as War Thunder is the
Let's jump ahead.
fuel multiplayer ground returning player 2011 Silicon Valley. Airbnb, Twitch, Reddit, Stripe, DoorDash, Coinbase, and dozens of other household names all owed their existence to it in one way or another. Sam became its central figure. He came to decide which startups got funding, which were favored, and which were ignored and starved of cash before they could rock the boat. It also gave him the opportunity to get in on the ground floor with tons of potentially massive companies. A scattering of small investments could net him millions down the line. Only a fool or someone with completely pure morals would have resisted getting rich off of this insider knowledge. Sam was...
And you have to remember that a lot of these big deals that are being done, they are being done with, passing information to each other. Okay, if you are part of the crew, if you're part of these elite circles, then you are more likely to be part of these insider deals, so that you can invest in these companies before they go fucking public, before they really launch and make a big mainstream. That is why also is important. Why, I see what is happening, okay, but I don't want to be a part of those fucking circles, because most of them are fucking evil. Most of them have links to fucking trafficking women, exploiting children. They have evil intentions, those people, right? That is why I'm forming a new group, a group that I know, right, that the people who join me are pure-hearted. They are good people, right? They have good intentions for humanity. That is why I want to be associated with the right type of people who want to benefit the world. That is what we are doing here. We are launching a new world order.
Neither. He was right on the front lines of venture capitalism, picking out the prize apples for them to pluck from the trees. But while extending his own web of connections and influence, Sam still found a way to make it sound like he was working towards some sort of greater good for society.
I have no desire to go be a venture capitalist. I feel like where I can sort of really contribute to the world is making startups happen that would otherwise not. And YC is a way to do that.
In 2014, Sam was then made president of Y Combinator, and his personal reach extended even further. He was only 28 years old, and to many, it was obvious how much power he had in his hands. But to deflect from those kinds of questions, Sam had a special answer. You could be forgiven for thinking that Silicon Valley had just no real ideology or philosophy, other than to make as much money as possible, whatever the cost. But for years, a philosophical movement had been building in Silicon Valley that seemed to offer guilty tech bros a way to justify their action.
I mean, if you think about it, like the guy in the picture right there, okay, his name is Sam Altman, Bankman-Fried, something like that, right? Sam Friedman, right? He was seen as this philanthropist, great person who was going to launch a tech revolution in crypto, okay, that he was going to help the people. And in essence, all he was fucking doing was launching a Ponzi scheme, right? Even these tech valuations, these, for OpenAI, because OpenAI will soon go, it will have its IPO, it will launch on the stock exchange, right? These people, it is just a form of fucking it is a pyramid scheme that you're investing into, okay, because these companies are overvalued, right? And they're not going to be able to deliver the type of information, the type of valuations that they are promising, right? Because the technology, just because one company is making it doesn't mean another company is not making it. Because think about how many competing AIs you already have. You already have Gemini, you have Google AI, which is Gemini, and you have OpenAI, which is this guy Sam Altman. You have Claude, and then you have China's fucking AI. You have Grok, Elon's AI. The technology, who the fuck gives a shit which company launches it, okay? It is becoming so good so fast that whoever launches the next version of AI, you're going to buy into it anyway, because that is what is successful at the time.
Effective altruism is pretty simple on the surface. Springing from the work of the Australian ethicist Peter Singer, its basic principle is that you should do whatever you can to make as many people as happy as possible. For Sam Altman, this logic justified his career choices. He decided that he would be wasting his life if he spent it on working at a soup kitchen or even running a regular charity. Instead, he could use his skills to make as much money as possible. He could then use the profits to fund more charity work than he could ever accomplish directly working.
What charity work has this guy done so far? Okay, if his whole fucking reason for making these companies is so he can be charitable. It's like what charity is he fucking doing right now? I don't see any benefit that this guy is helping with humanity. He is not helping anybody. He is just using this smoke and mirrors, this little scheme that he's got going on, being like, oh, I'm being very fucking charitable. He's not helping anybody, right? He is just helping align his own back pocket
for charity. Plus, if he ever got to the top of the tech world, it would prevent someone more evil taking his place and misusing.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Because he needs to be in the top spot because, just in case somebody more evil comes along to be and take up his position, right? No, he is the evil cunt who is in the position. That is why he needs to be fucking thrown in jail. We need to strip him down. This is why we need us to be in the position of power, okay? Because we only us can make sure that we have good intentions for people because we are the ones who want humanity to prosper.
The power for their own gain. Some of Silicon Valley's biggest scam artists have cloaked themselves in this exact ideology. When Elizabeth Holmes was asked how she felt being the youngest billionaire in the world, she immediately leant on this to make herself look humble.
The youngest billionaire in the world. Is that heady when you hear that?
It's not what matters. What matters.
Why not? If that was me, if somebody goes to me, oh, you're the youngest billionaire who ever fucking lived, I'd be like, yeah, fucking great. Because I am the right person to be in that fucking place, okay? Because this is what I'm going to do with my fucking billions of dollars, right? And she's like, oh, it doesn't really matter. It's like, why? Like, everyone knows fucking it matters, right? So why are you trying to be humble, right? Because she's trying to pretend that she's a good person. Why buy into this, okay? Don't fucking trust these people, right? Just imagine yourself in that position. Oh yeah, billions of dollars does not matter. It fucking does matter. Then why do you keep fucking accumulating more and more money, right? Because you know it does fucking matter. And she's trying to play you for the fool.
Is how well we do in trying to make people's lives better. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I.
And why do it always sound so fucking soft? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Imagine if I made these videos and I'm like, hey, yeah, build your own kingdom. Like have some fucking passion and life behind your fucking words. Do you get what I mean? Like, at least say something with fucking conviction instead of all this bullshit that you are trying to peddle.
Work the way that I work, and that's why I love what I'm doing so much.
Yeah, I really love the fact that I'm doing this because I'm a fucking cunt. Like, no, this is not how humans communicate, right? There has to be passion. There has to be a reason why you're doing the things you're doing, right? And this person is blatantly lying to you.
Sam Bankman-Fried was also a big fan of the movement, later using it to try and excuse his actions in an interview taken while FTX was literally collapsing from within.
I was thinking a lot about, bed nets and malaria, about, saving people from diseases no one should die from, about animal welfare, about pandemic prevention, and, what could be done on a large scale to help mitigate those.
Sam Altman would use these ideas to his own benefit. Just like Bankman-Fried and Holmes, he uses them as a shield, but he also used them as an excuse to gain even more power and start OpenAI. Obviously, if tech oligarchs had actually stuck to real effective altruism, it would have been great. They could have spent their vast excesses of money on food for the hungry or by investing in vital infrastructure. Instead, the movement took a much more different turn. Top minds in the tech world got bored with this grounded version of effective altruism. They instead became obsessed with the idea of doing the best thing for the billions or even trillions of people who might exist in our distant future. In their minds, they needed to save these people from a coming threat, one that could potentially wipe out humanity completely, evil AGI. While it was still a niche position at the time, people like Elon Musk and even some top AI researchers had begun to become incredibly worried about artificial general intelligence.
So I think we should be cautious with AI, and there should be some government oversight.
This is another guy. Like, why would you trust him? Do you know what I mean? Like, just because you're like, oh, we should be very cautious. Like, why do it all sound like fucking retards? Ask yourself that. They have no fucking social skills. They have no communication skills. They can't even fucking talk to normal people, right? This is why I'm building a community of 100 kings to be leaders, right? Because You don't want a person, just Elon Musk, just by himself making decisions like, yeah, we need to do fucking this. It's like, no, there'll be 100 people, 100 kings fucking communicating with one another, coming up with new ideas, new solutions, right? Bring about new creative ideas. That is what we are about. That is what we're doing. That is how we will save the world.
Because it affects it's a danger to the public.
They thought that if we kept on making breakthroughs with AI, then we would quickly stumble across an artificial intelligence capable of improving itself and escaping its digital chains. If it decided that humans weren't worth keeping around, then it could go full Skynet and just destroy humanity. Preventing this outcome
And that is what their plan is, really. They want to destroy humanity, okay? They want you unemployed. They want you locked up in your bedroom. They want you weak. They want you easy to control. That is what their agenda is. That is how they want to operate. They want total control and total power. And that is why it is up to you to put yourself in a position where you can challenge them, where you can gain power. Because if you're not going to do it, who the fuck will? Who's going to do it? Who's going to step up? Most people are fucking weak. Most people have no intention of helping anybody else, right? Only you can decide whether you want to help and prosper, help the world and stop the direction that we are headed towards. Okay. That is why we need good people such as yourself and me in positions of power. That is why we are crowning ourselves as kings, because only we can be trusted. Okay. That is why we deserve everything that we get, because the people who are in normal life right now, they are being led down a dark and dangerous path. Let's jump into comments. Their stupid idea to fix everything is to convert all matter to computing substrate. Yep, you are right. Exactly. They don't understand the normal problems of people. They don't understand what we are going through. They don't understand where to lead humanity to. Okay, what they really think is, this is what their deep belief is, right? They believe that AI is inevitable. Okay, that AI will be the future god of humanity, the future god of the people. And what they want to do is they want to put AI into everybody's house. They want to have everybody be a subject of the AI, and AI be the ruling god, right? And because they were the person to do and put that AI into the position of God, they'll turn around to AI and be like, look, it was me who helped you get there, right? Therefore, give me some special privileges. So it is all from a selfish fucking place that they are doing this, right? It is all for their own benefit. They're not trying to help anybody. They are not trying to help the world down a better route. They are just trying to save their own fucking ass and their own fucking skin. This is why we need to come in to offer a better solution to the world, to offer a better life for people. Let's jump back into the video.
Weighed all the mosquito nets and aid packages that you could dream of. Musk saw this as an imminent threat, especially considering that Google was well ahead in AI development, and seemed to have no care about human life. They had all the power, all the funding, and they had hired pretty much all of the top AI researchers. With their profit incentive, Musk believed that they could easily create the next HAL 9000. To beat Google and save humanity, Musk needed a startup unlike any other. This was what brought him into contact with Sam Altman and his network of wealthy investors who shared his concerns with AI. Over the course of a few months, they came up with a plan to beat Google. Without any other way to compete, Musk, Altman, and the gang would have to attack them on an ideological level. In her book Empire of AI and an interview since it was released, Karen Howe describes how this all took place.
Because of that fear, Altman and Musk then thought, we need to do a nonprofit, not have these profit-driven incentives. We're going to focus on being completely open, transparent, and also collaborative to the point of self-sacrificing if necessary. I have come to speculate, this is not based on any documents that I read or anything, I've come to speculate that part of the reason why they started as a nonprofit in the first place is because it was a great recruitment tool for getting at that bottleneck. They could not compete on salaries with Google, but they could compete on a sense of mission.
This is the reason that Musk named the company.
So again, they try to fucking lie to you. They try to put forward this false agenda that they're trying to help humanity, that they're doing this charitable thing, that we are running this non-profit. But now, they're changing their fucking business model, right? So, if they're willing to do this just to get the fucking ideas across, do you trust these people? Can you trust these people to have your best intentions? I think not.
Open AI. And today it's just completely ironic. But back then it was truly an open attempt at making AI without any profit motives. The ideological approach worked at first. It enabled the company to poach lots of Google's top AI researchers despite the drop in salary. It also meant that the company had tons of funds to work with, a large portion of them coming from Musk himself. Obviously today we know that OpenAI is one of the most profit incentivized capitalistic companies around. Musk is currently in the process of
So what's changed? Okay, because you are obviously you were a fucking charitable company before. What happened? Why are you now chasing profit? Because that was your plan all along, right? They were just using smoke and mirrors to dupe you into believing that they were doing and helping the world, trying to benefit the world, when in essence they don't give a fuck about you.
suing Altman and OpenAI, accusing them of having always been profit motivated and of duping him for years into funding their schemes. Whether or not that's true will come out in the courts, but the emails we've seen already from the legal process are just incredibly telling. Just take a look at this exchange between Altman and Musk, which seems to suggest they were all in on the grift by 2017. In the next email in the
Exactly, it was a grift. They were trying to fucking pull the wool over your eyes. They already had this in plan, always to make you believe that they were the good guys. In essence, they are trying to fucking rob you.
exchange, Musk offers to give them all prototype Teslas. But this happy state of affairs didn't last for long. As Altman pushed to make the company just as profit-seeking as the competition, he also worked to muscling Musk out of the business altogether. A few months later, Musk was angry at being taken along for a ride. Instead of preventing a dark AI future, he might have just added another malicious influence into the mix. As time went on, momentum at OpenAI grew and it attracted more and more investors. This was Altman's strength. His pitch was relatively simple. AGI was going to change the world entirely. Getting in on the ground level with OpenAI, who had a good chance at being the first to make the breakthrough, could therefore be the most profitable investment ever. It was amazing because
Yeah, so they're just trying to get there to be the first person in order for them to fucking be the person who brings about AI, AGI, so that they can claim all the fucking credit, so that they can get in cahoots with the AI to be seen as a good person. Let's jump further ahead and into this part of the video, which I want you to see. Here we go.
just watch this clip of how defensive he became when Tucker Carlson brought up the OpenAI whistleblower.
You had complaints from one programmer who said you guys were basically stealing people's stuff and not paying them, and then he wound up murdered. What was that?
Also a great tragedy. He committed suicide.
Do you think?
So basically, what this part is there was a member, a person who was working for OpenAI, and he ended up being a whistleblower, saying that look, the things that this company is doing isn't right, it isn't ethical, it isn't in line with industry standards, right? That it is not trying to benefit humanity, that is trying to fucking position itself to benefit for its own self. Okay, so it really. It was a whistleblower, the guy. He alerted authorities. I think he phoned the FBI and CIA, and this guy ended up dead, right? He wound up dead under suspicious circumstances. And Sam Altman on this fucking podcast, because Tucker Carlson brings it up, he's like, this guy looks like he got fucking killed. He's like, oh yeah, it was just suicide. Okay, so look at him straight up lie to the public.
He committed suicide?
I really do.
That's right.
Yeah, he is lying. Okay, he is a fucking liar. He actually murdered
The medical
somebody.
record, does it not look like one to you?
No, he was definitely murdered, I think.
Yeah, because when you look at the actual investigation, when you look at what actually happened, right, he got killed. He did not commit suicide. He was not suicidal, as stated by his friends and family. Okay, he had no intentions of killing himself. Okay, this is something that was planned by somebody else.
There were signs of a struggle, of course. The surveillance camera, the wires had been cut. And his mother.
Yeah, okay, so if you're going to commit suicide, then why would you cut the fucking wires to the CCTV in your building? It doesn't make sense. Again, this is the same thing with how Jeffrey Epstein got, you know, killed. Apparently, he apparently committed suicide. Right? It is all bullshit. These fucking big companies, these big people who are in charge of the fucking world, lie to your face. They try to get rid of the evidence so that they can go around committing their crimes.
Claims he was murdered on your orders.
Do you believe that?
I'm asking.
I mean, you just said it, so.
Do you believe that? Yes, he fucking believes it because he's a fucking liar, right? Like, why is he? Right? Why would this person who just blew the whistle on the dodgy dealings of OpenAI then end up killing himself? Like the two don't even make sense, right? There is no, the guy was not suicidal, right? He had no intention of causing harm to himself. Why is he dead? Because Sam Altman wanted it so.
Do you believe that?
When you get deep into this,
and the thing is, like, Sam Altman, he's just clever in that sense. He's like, if you ask that, most people will kind of back off because they don't want to commit to making a statement, because then you can get sued. Okay. This is why I don't give a fuck. I'll say what the fuck I want on my head. Okay, Sam Altman did kill that person. He commanded that person get killed. Okay, it is a fucking allegation that I'm making. It is the truth, right? That is what we need to investigate, because these people are supposedly the people in charge of the fucking world. They're the people in charge of our fates, right? They dictate how the world will be run.
Case and look at the details revealed by the family's investigation, it becomes incredibly suspicious. Altman's reaction to the line of questioning does him and his company absolutely no favors here either. He clams up, either giving short answers or long-winded nothing responses with seemingly no emotions behind his eyes. He tries to shut down the question by appealing to respect for the family.
I respect that, but I think his memory and his family deserve to be treated with a level of respect and grief that I don't quite feel here.
Meanwhile, Tucker.
Yeah, so he's giving blame to Tucker Carlson for even fucking bringing it up. He's a journalist. He's supposed to bring it up. Okay, this is what I mean. Most people watch that and be like, "Oh yeah, Sam Altman's such a kind and caring guy. Like, he really cares about the fucking victims, parents. You know, like the people that he left behind." He's trying to cover his tracks. Right, this is the person who's going to be one of the future leaders of the world. Okay, he is in charge of one of the most important fucking companies, one of the most important pieces of technology in the world, right? And he is implicit. Okay, he is associated with the killing of a whistleblower at his own fucking company, right? Most people are just too dumb to recognize what is going on. Most people have no clue what is going on in the world, and they'd rather be like, pay attention to some dumb shit in the media right now. Okay, they're not opening their eyes to the truth that is happening in the world. That is why they need new leaders. Okay, we need to offer them a new group of leaders, a new way of saving humanity, a new future for the people, right? That is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to wake people up. I'm sending the bat signal. Okay, I am trying to recruit the right type of people who understand what it is that I'm doing, what I'm trying to accomplish here on this channel. If you want to be a part of it, if you want to be a change in the world, okay, if you want to help humanity be guided towards a new path, let me know. Send me a message and maybe we can work together. But that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.